I drove too far. And then bobcaster fell down. To make the moment, I realizing I'm the bottom of 50 feet kind of cliff. Boom, landed there. My thoughts was two simple thoughts. Yeah, happened so fast. When it's like, oh, I'm falling. Then the second thought is like, oh, I'm on the ground. I'm okay.
People who thought that they had cancer and died thinking they had cancer, but the autopsy proved that they didn't have cancer. They just told themselves that they were ready to die and they just died, right? So we have so many examples that the mind is much more powerful than we think.
What is the disease? The disease is the body trying to say, it's too much. I cannot handle this anymore. Please stop. Please slow down. Please walk with me. Please, I'm here with you, but I cannot continue this way without you. This you is abstract identity. This you does not exist, actually. This body is you. This body carries everything who you are.
There's a man listening to this right now. He's exhausted. He's performing his life rather than living it. He has been waiting his whole life for someone to tell him there is another way. What do you say to him right now in this moment? Hey Conscious Man 7 family, quick question before we start. Do you love the depth of these conversations but hate when ads break the flow? I get it. Ads can feel like speed bumps on a highway, pulling you out of that deep zone. That's why we created a way for you to enjoy every episode completely ad-free while supporting the show at the same time. For just a few bucks a month on Patreon or Locals, you'll get full access to uninterrupted episodes. You'll get direct access to me so you can ask me any questions that you have, some cool other perks like early releases, and you'll also help us keep bringing you the powerful conversations that mainstream platforms won't touch. The link is in the show notes. Join us there and be part of this movement. Ever look up and see those dull, grey skies streaked with chemtrails and you feel your energy sink? You're not imagining it. Something in you knows the sky isn't supposed to look that way. But what if you could bring back the blue? What if there was a way to clear the air inside you and above you? That's where the Kembo comes in. They create powerful orgonite, tools that generate orgone energy, the life force that helps neutralize EMFs from your mobile phone, your Wi-Fi, and even 5G. It's nature's way of restoring balance, bringing cleaner air, calmer energy, and deeper sleep. Every piece from the Kembo is handmade, from tactical tower busters to beautiful pyramids and jewelry, crafted with the precise ingredients to generate real orgone energy. And here's the best part. They've proven it. For over 10 years, they've cleared thousands of miles of chemtrails, bringing the blue back to the skies around the world. So if you're ready to take back your weather and your well-being, go to thekembo.com. Use coupon code CM7 for 10% off and experience the shift for yourself. Don't fear the chemtrails or the EMF. Be empowered with the Kembo and never feel helpless again. If you are new to this podcast, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share because that helps us to be recommended in the algorithms. If you would like to support this podcast, please check out our merch store on Amazon with the brand Todd and Me. We've got some cool t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, and sweaters. Link will be in the description of this podcast. And if you're now starting a spiritual journey, you would like to start a spiritual journey, or you're currently on a spiritual journey and you would like some help removing some fears and traumas, please hit me up on my Instagram at Adriano_246 and it will help you to get some magic mushrooms. Enjoy the show and stay tuned because we have some more great content coming soon. In China, there is a hospital where people arrive with terminal diagnoses and leave healthy. No drugs, no surgery, no medicine of any kind. The documented success rate is 95%, and the only thing those patients used was the intelligence already living in their own bodies. Hello friends, welcome to the Conscious Man 7 podcast. I am your host Todd Cave, and today I am joined by Master Mingtong Gu. Master Mingtong trained inside that hospital. He witnessed those healings firsthand, and he knows firsthand what the body is capable of because he himself healed from decades of chronic asthma and scoliosis through this very practice after a childhood of hunger, poverty, and separation from his own family in Cultural Revolution China. He has carried that knowledge to 100,000 people across 47 countries, and in this conversation, he is going to show you what your body has always been capable of doing for itself.
When truth is blurred by lies and misinformation, perception becomes reality. What will you perceive your reality to be?
Liberate your fears and walk with me.
Sit down and meditate. Connect with your soul.
Be a monster and then learn how to control it.
You gotta be willing to do the work.
So it really goes really deep in terms of words and etymology and what they mean. So this is why it is really hard to really crack the matrix, because there's so many levels and layers to it, Master Mingtong Gu, welcome to the Conscious Man 7 podcast. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, I am really intrigued to talk to you today because, as I was telling you off camera, my first knowledge or the word Qigong was an image I saw on TV when I was living in Barbados. And it was a group of people in the park in China, and they were practicing Qigong, and the Chinese government didn't really like that, and they just arrested these people. So that has always been in my head as the image of Qigong, where it was this sacred, ancient thing that you're not supposed to do, that the government doesn't like you to do. So when you reached out to come onto the show, I was like, okay, I want to find out more about this because, as I was telling you before, I'm as conspiratorial as they get. And the things that they tell me not to read, not to look at, not to do, are the things that I investigate and most probably end up doing because it goes against the system, because the system has it wrong. And the system is only there to oppress, extract, and demoralize you, So I am also very interested to learn more about this form of medicine that you teach. And, we're all about healing, health, fitness, and becoming the best version of yourself. And the things that you talk about really aligned with the ethos on this podcast. So thank you for being a guest on the show, and let's jump right in. So there is a hospital in China where people arrived with terminal diagnoses, cancer, neurological disease, conditions the medical system had written off as permanent, and healed themselves through energy practice alone. The documented success rate is 95%. You trained there. What did you see?
Yeah, it's hard to describe into words, Simply, practice itself really simple. And imagine 1,000 people. Actually, one time was 3,000, another time was 5,000 people practicing 10 hours, 12 hours a day. And, movement practice looks like Tai Chi, but it's very different energetically. Then we do also sound healing practice, meditation practice. And we do also receive the teaching from our main teacher, Grandmaster Ming, and his transmission, his energy presence affecting everyone. And so it's really about you're taking a vacation from your normal life, normal way of thinking, normal way of approaching your own body, your own health. Yeah. Big part of it is letting go of the story of diagnosis, especially story of incurable condition. Later on, many years later, I discover, even after I recover from my incurable condition, including asthma, scoliosis, and after many years teaching students, then I realizing the words incurable is given by a doctor, whoever giving you a diagnosis, and they tell you that I don't know how to help you to recover. based on what I know. That's what that means. But imagine how much the doctor can know, how including the science continue evolving, right? So, but the words incurable become like death sentence. Patient often believing, have all the reason behind it, all the, science behind it, whether chemical science, biological science, whether even neurological science, all the explanation behind it. But the point is, the truth is, on my own experience, it's nothing as incurable. Depends on what are you doing. What are you doing? So when you say, treating your body a certain way with, drug, medication, allopathic condition, in that context might be incurable. But if you, treating it with herbs, then more option available for you, right? But then if you're treating even more with power of mind, I think this podcast, everybody understand the power of the mind, right? What's the most powerful in the universe?
The mind.
Mind. On the other hand, the mind is also tricky.
Absolutely.
Negative work for us. When you believe in a limiting story, the mind believing it, then the energy working according to your own belief system. So most powerful thing in the universe is energy. Energy containing all the potential of creation, manifestation, healing, transformation, and spiritual realization. So in this tradition, we're recognizing everything's energy. We learn how to connect with the body energetically, connecting with each other energetically, connecting life energetically, connecting the whole, creation of the universe energetically. And we were realizing, we have more power than our story, than our diagnosis, than what our normal belief system is, as we shared, before this conversation, all the truths people tell, it's all relative truths. It's one small truth of the big truth, right? You use a beautiful analogy of the mountain. Everybody see the truth from different side of the mountain. The weather is different. The light is different, and the season is different. So you're experiencing very different thing. Then you think in believing that's the only truth. That's the same thing for diagnosis. Same thing for conventional treatment. So my teacher, who used to be, he was trained as a physician in the Western medicine, but also trained in the traditional Chinese medicine. So when he was practicing medicine, he realizing, according to this method, these perspectives, this science, these conditions is not treatable, is incurable. And even with traditional Chinese medicine, it's still limiting. Also, it's very slow, because it only depends on some sort of substance outside of you. That's a huge difference. And Qigong is different. He learned Qigong from 50 different teachers. They're all, high level realized teachers from different traditions. So he practiced since childhood, maintain his own health, his own vitality, his own capacity. And he's amazingly capable, including paranormal capacity, and photographic memory and so on like that. But he started to, instead of giving more medication, more prescription to the patient, he started to teach them Qigong and getting better result. So actually, in the early years, he was put into prison by the Chinese government. According to the protocol, as a physician, even as traditional Chinese medicine, you're supposed to follow this protocol. And he's not doing it. So the government put him in jail and then discover he has pure intention, doing everything possible to help patient to recover. So you cannot really, classify him as a criminal. So they let him go. Then he realizing he need to open this process by himself. So he opened the Medicine and Qigong Hospital. So go back to your original story, the experience I had in the beginning, when I went to China, and with only few Westerners, practitioners. And I would stay outside of the medicine Qigong hospital at the time. Critical environment not allow us to stay in the center yet. The teacher came from the center to teach us in a different location, but we visit the center quite a few times. So when we into the center or walk into the center, your whole body start feel different. It's like buzzing, vibrating, you know. So it's like undeniable. The powerful energy is right there. It's undeniable. Then you see 1,000 people practicing together. You join together. It's like you are almost like in another world, totally in another world. So, you know, I personally have not experienced anything like that. So became very, not beyond just curious, dedicated, practicing, you know, not only during the retreat, after that come home, practicing, you know, 1 hour a day, most of the days, 2 hours a day. Then 2 years, I was able to recover from scoliosis and the asthma condition. And so keep going back to the medicine Qigong hospital, eventually attended a master training program, then learn, you know, how this work, why this work, and what is the scientific way using the ancient wisdom for the modern time, approaching something repeatable. It's not like woo stuff. Yeah. So once you practice it, once you understand how this works, then it becomes like energetic science. But it's different science. It's also art, because it depends on your creativity. You cannot just like, oh, prescription, you know, how many doses, then you do this and expecting that result. Because this is different. You're accessing your own mind, accessing your own body, individually different. Your history is different. Your feeling is different. Your choice you're making is different. So bottom line is about connecting your own mind with your own body and discovering the energy, discovering the power inside of you. And that power is the origin of life, is the source of life, source of healing. It's a source of love, it's a source of joy, source of creativity. So there's nothing more precious, than this. It's like often I say, that's the best thing I've discovered in my whole life. So I'm here to share with everyone as much as possible. So let me pause here for you to ask me any question.
So it is almost like if the Qigong practice that you do merges the mind, body, and spirit together in one practice. Because through my journey, I have learned that human beings are a mind, body, spirit complex. And true health is when you have the harmony between all three parts of you. And what you're talking about is akin to tuning into the prana. So the prana is what the Hindus call the life source energy. And you're basically tapping into the prana to not only heal yourself, but to change your physiology, your psychology, your mindset. So this is like total mind, body, spirit healing in one. Because as you were talking, like, I just started to vibrate at the same time. I was like, this is interesting, because, and imagine your teacher was arrested, and it was taught to me before that my first image was seeing people being arrested. And I didn't even know that before we started, right? So it just was like, you know, the things that are supposed to heal us and make us the best are the things that are illegal, bad for you, things that you should not do. And I find it really a little bit sad in a way, because we have so much untapped potential that, you know, because you were talking about the mind, and people like Joe Dispenza have proven scientifically that the mind can heal through the placebo effect, you know, and that book, because he tells many, many stories about how people had amputated limbs with no morphine, just a saline solution, and felt no pain. People who thought that they had cancer and died thinking they had cancer, but the autopsy proved that they didn't have cancer. They just told themselves that they were ready to die, and they just died, right? So we have so many examples that the mind is much more powerful than we think. And it's almost like a gift and a curse where, as you said, you can heal yourself, but you can also give yourself limiting beliefs that would actually make you sick, make you have repeat patterns in your life and so forth, So you grew up in China during the Cultural Revolution. Hunger, poverty, separated from your own family, the first person from your village ever to go to college. And then you healed yourself from decades of chronic asthma and scoliosis through Qigong. Before you became the teacher, what did it actually feel like to be the patient?
Yeah. Growing up with a hard childhood, one gift is that become very resilient, adaptable. Not like a normal sense of resilience. It's like you adapt. Yeah, you adapt. So it's like, okay, this condition is incurable. So I learn to, be comfortable with it, live with it, right? And then, but also same time, feel really limited. So, but many years later, I realizing, my mind is living in the mental world, study mathematics, study even fine arts, still quite mental, but it start to come into the heart more, the feeling more. But overall, I'm realizing, this whole way of life, especially in the modern world, epidemically, we're living, above the shoulder, above the neck. Totally, in the mental world. And especially lately, I'm realizing we are ready to make change. Unless we make that change, we're going to lose this body, lose this living temple. So what I'm trying to say is in my whole life, because of a disease, I was mentally disconnected from my body and living in the mental world, even, academically quite accomplished. So even physically feel struggle, feel limitation, at the same time, like adapting to it, like very limited perception, limited capacity, limited freedom, so to speak. So, but on the other hand, I didn't discover Qigong. I have never heard of Qigong in China as I grown up. I discovered Qigong in Columbus, Ohio after, more than 10 years, lived in the US. And so it was kind of a total new thing for me. Even this Qigong has long history in China. As I mentioned, it has been underground. So it's like this. We don't know what we don't know. And the society, don't know what we don't know. So, but when we have opened ourselves, curious enough, to explore, to discover what is possible, and especially when we feel limited in our normal pattern of life, whether stressed, burnout, or have health issue, or something is not working in our life, or even have a trauma, in the history, then we're seeking for not only, healing, but seeking for new possibility, new way of fulfilling ourselves. Ultimately, life is about fulfillment. How can you fulfill yourself as a human being? That's like the question underlying my journey. I think that is a common question, showing up in our life in different stages, in different ways, right? So the same reason, that kind of drive me to, discover Qigong. One thing leads to another, discover Qigong. And in my spiritual journey, also I'm very connected with Tibetan Buddhist tradition as well. So these two paths is naturally kind of complementary to each other, reinforming each other. And so, but once I discover, through Qigong, not only recover from this incurable condition, so-called incurable condition, realizing, oh my God, the main thing I was missing is a connection of my own mind and the body. That separation was there. Then I realizing the separation is happening for everyone on the planet Earth. And then realizing, the deeper cause of disease in general, especially chronic disease, including even, acute disease too. It's like, it's coming from stress. Yeah, stress. But on the other hand, stress is inevitable in life. No matter how much you're trying to control the environment, control the circumstances, we have very little control. Because of that, you have a lot of stress, but often we identify the mental stress, I don't like this, this is imperfect, this is, problem, this is, is not happening the way I wanted, whatever reason, right? But the truth is, the stress is living in your body. Even when you think mentally you're stressed, you identify whatever problems, complexity problems, but stress living in the body. Yeah, your brain cell carries stress. Your heart carries stress. Your nervous system carries stress. Your muscle, your tissue carry the stress. So every day you carry the stress. When the mind, body disconnected, then you're not aware of the stress of the body. So the mind move on. Okay, push slow. Let's do something. Problem solving. We're thinking, if I solve this problem, you'll be fine. No, the body continue carry the stress. Even the problem is solved, but the moment, you facing the problem, the contraction is happening, then over the time become a contracted pattern in the body, not to mentioning whole life, every day, decades of life. So the whole body is like carry all the tightness, all the tension, all the stress, all the emotional overwhelmness. But the worst thing is disconnection. So you don't know how to make the change. You don't know how to take care of yourself every day. Besides pushing slow, burning out to the degree, what is the disease? The disease is the body trying to say, it's too much. I cannot handle this anymore. Please stop. Please slow down. Please work with me. Please, I'm here with you, but I cannot continue this way without you. This you is abstract identity. This you does not exist, actually. This body is you. This body carries everything who you are.
That is a very interesting way to put it. Like that the body is telling you, hey, you're going too fast or doing too much of a said thing.
Right.
So you need to slow down because, in fact, this ease we say is dis-ease is when the body is out of ease, right? Out of homeostasis. Yeah. Because we tend to look, I don't know if it's our fatalistic mindset or is a nihilist mindset that we look at, because when we look at sickness, we think of it as bad, but the way you are framing it is actually, it's a good thing. It's like, hey, you know what? Just take a break. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It'd be good for you. You know what I mean? You don't need to push. But we think, well, just take a few pills and keep going harder, right? And keep doing the same things. And I don't know. It's almost like if that's been programmed into us, or maybe it's just that we, as they say, monkey see, monkey do. We see other people do it, and on the surface they look okay, and we think that we'll just copy them because we seem to have that mindset of just, as we say in Barbados, follow pattern, just copy what other people do instead of like maybe thinking for ourselves and seeing, well, maybe if I try something different, So it's a very interesting distinction that you made there.
Yeah.
So at what point, standing inside that hospital, watching what you were watching, did something inside you change forever?
So many different transformation, different experience, every day is like awakening to the new possibility. But one of the, I think, most powerful realization came to me is during the time I was healing, recovering, the final stage of recovering from asthma. I was coughing. The detoxification process happening in my body by coughing for like 2 weeks long. And towards the end of it, everything cleared. No more symptom, no more like any complication. Not only the whole body is transformed, but my whole being is like become lighter and clear. And in this process, I visited my teacher's wife, and she gently touched on my shoulder. She said, "Now you have found your home. You can return to your home anytime." In that moment, I realized what she meant is, this is my home. And that moment, is my whole being is like just like lit up, and so happy with tears, with so much tear. And I realized in my whole life, I was seeking for home, from adoption, mini adoption, living with different families, and even, left my own homeland country to US, and, experiencing, of course, many different relationships, trying to find my home. Then through this healing process, I realizing my home is here. This body is my home. Wherever I go, my home is here. And that was so liberating. And that moment on, I stopped searching outside me. And I realized in my whole life, I've been searching outside of me, not just finding home, but finding happiness, finding cure, finding, whatever approval, finding success to prove my worthwhile. So all that human conditioning, we all do. Everybody has done that. Yeah. Seeking, what is most important thing? Yeah. Love, joy, healing, fulfillment outside of us. Yeah. And I was no exception. But that moment when I realized, home is here. And within this home, everything I need is right here inside me. Energy, the love, the joy, the creativity, and the deeper fulfillment, a sense of like my own existence is complete without depends on anyone else. And at the same time, we're interdependent. We are inseparable. We're connected. So that feeling, that experience really waked me up. I think that's one of the most important, for me, awakening experience. And obviously there are many others, another one is more like realizing another aspect of me beyond just this body, beyond this physical existence, as a spirit, as pure essence, is timeless, timeless. And that experience came from not only teaching, but also transmission from my teacher, as well, years of meditation. So all these combination is like, I feel a sense of completion. On one hand, it's claiming my body as a human being existing here, but also knowing, my consciousness is eternal, timeless. So when I discover both of them is equally important. The tendency is when we discover consciousness is timeless, then we're thinking about consciousness as if like something existing as a ghost. So we start to bypassing this existence, bypassing this physical, energetic presence. And that's often the mistake people, make. Oh, mind is powerful. Therefore, only focus on the mind. That's a mistake. So by coming home to this body, then you can complete in yourself. Then you can discover you are more than your mind. You're more than this body. The mind-body connection is completing who you are. In both human as well divine. Yeah. So unfortunately, we keep making the mistake either goes the opposite. Mind is important only. Dismissing the body. Then another way of approach is, the body is important because this is, measurable, physical, tangible, as if nothing else exists. We continue making this mistake, either mind over the body or body over the mind, and this battle of control, battle of disconnection. Yeah. So the Qigong is help you to discover not only the mind, body is equally important. They are partners. They are inseparable. They are all part of you. Without that connection, you cannot fulfill yourself. Without that connection, you cannot truly experience life completely as a human being.
Yeah, you know, you actually said something that I have said from the beginning I started doing podcasts. And
Yeah.
people, I find, because I spend a lot of time on social media, so I see people that are all into like meditation and manifestation and etc. But they only focus on that. And when they look at their physique looks like trash. And then I will see people that are only fitness people orientated,
Right.
whether it's boys or girls.
Oh, right.
But you can see that there's nothing there, like no one's home, you know, it's just a body.
Right.
And then you have people that are only into consciousness and spirituality and stuff. And then I can look at them and see that their body is frail or they're overweight and, you know, they're not like physically fit. And this is why I merged all three, because I've realized that I must be all three, because those are three things of me. And you have to, and I always like to describe it as a stool with three legs. If we remove one leg, the stool will fall. And, you know, a lot of people still today don't even realize that. And another thing you said that was really powerful is that she told you, welcome home, or, you know, it's good to get back home, something of that nature. And it's true. We spend most of our time outside of ourselves, that we actually forget that we live inside of ourselves. And it's always like the next trinket, the external validation, the next post on social media to get all the likes and attention, the people pleasing, XYZ. But no one actually like turns on the inside and realize that you need to live inside of you. You take the body with you every single place. So the body is your vehicle. Then your mind is also the thing that allows you to think, process information, have discernment. So you need to take care of that as well. And when those two get married, then you realize there's this essence inside of you that controls your breathing, your heart beating, that you don't even have to think about, which is the innate consciousness of the universe, which proves that you are divine because you don't have to think about doing these things. So what you said just now was like super powerful. So I think that people need to rewind that a bit and listen to that again.
Totally. Let's, give more time for that experience when you recognizing, not only mind, body is connected, when you truly make choice connecting with your body, to experience your body, feel your body, then you're realizing this body is more than a vehicle. No, much more. This body is more than an object. This body is more than a biological machine. This body is much more than a problem to solve, which I always approach in the body. What is the problem? What a problem? How to solve this problem? No, much, much more than that. This body even more than a friend, this eternal friends you have for the whole life. That's the only best friend you have in this lifetime. Actually, it's more than friend. It's your spouse. It's an inner partner. It's I call this pre-arranged marriage. Pre-arranged marriage, whether you like it or not. It's pre-arranged. It's a marriage. But now you have to make a choice, discover how you're going to make this marriage work and how you're going to live with this marriage, how you can willing to, come in together as deeply as possible. When two parts, coming together in harmony, in union, in this, integration, this is the most fulfilling, most blissful, most, loving, joyful experience. The same way, you have that internal, marriage to work with. So what I'm trying to say is approach of thinking, putting these three things together may also is limiting. We're approaching, okay, take care of the body this way, take care of the mind this way, take care of our emotion, heart this way. That's still separating them. So when you're working with energy, you're realizing, they're inseparable. They're inseparable. So it's like one thing can change everything. So when the energy awakening, moving through your entire body, then your health naturally improve. Physical health naturally improve. When the energy awakening, moving, opening naturally, you start experiencing more joy, more love, more connection. When the same energy awakening, moving through your entire system, you start naturally feel sense of creativity, clarity, passion, and connection with life, fulfillment of life. So it's just embracing every aspect of yourself from just changing one thing. But how to change that one thing? We have to starting with our limited perception. Oh, this body is this body, whatever the way you identify. Then when you go into the body, you start to feel, oh my God, tension here, there, discomfort, tightness, and even pain. Then you're thinking, I don't want to go there. So it's trying to finding a solution to fix that problem you identify in the body. Because of that, then you continuously running away from your body, running away from the truth. Continuously disconnected from yourself, basically. Not just your body. You disconnect from yourself. So often people feel like nobody. Whatever culture, whatever, different stage of your life, you feel like nobody. But deeply, because if we are disconnected from our own body, of course you're going to feel like nobody. There's no other way around, right?
Absolutely.
Discover your own body as a home, then you will not have this feeling of nobody. Everywhere you go, you're complete. You're whole. You're home. You are yourself.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're missing big part of you. How can you feel complete? So when, experience I want to share, Todd, if we like to inviting our participant to experience this meditation with us together, just like 3 minutes. Let's do this together.
Okay.
So make sure that you're safe when you're listening to this. Okay. If you're driving, do not close your eyes. Okay. So put your hands on top of your chest. And gently close your eye. Now repeating these words after me. Simply feel your body when you're listening, when you're repeating these words. First, choose. Without this body, I do not exist as a human being. Repeating together. Without
this body,
I do not exist as a human being. Without this body, I do not exist as a human being.
I do not exist as a human being.
Feel this truth. Beyond any concept, any assumption. Feel the presence of your body, presence of your own existence. Now continue to the second truth. Without this body, I cannot experience life as a human being. Without
this body, I cannot experience life as a human being.
Without this body, I cannot
experience life without this being.
Now feel the truth. Embracing all sensation, feeling inside of your own body. Continue to the third truth. Without this body, my soul cannot evolve in this lifetime. Without
this body, my soul
cannot evolve in this lifetime. Without this body, my soul cannot evolve in
this lifetime.
Simply feel the truth. Beyond any concept, any story, any assumption. Feel a sense of complete presence of your own existence. own presence. And feel your natural connection, energy naturally connecting with Earth, Mother Earth beneath us, with the universe, infinite above us, with the infinite energy all around us, the infinite source energy of creation already inside of you, inside of your brain, inside of your heart, inside of your cells, trillion cells, carries energy, carries power, carries consciousness. Simply allow yourself to feel whatever is true for you this moment. Now gently move your body softly with a new recognition, new relationship of your own body, beyond any assumption, any diagnosis, any story. Just feel your own body. Feel the aliveness inside of you. Feel the life continuously awakening, opening, moving inside of you. Now slowly, gently, whenever you're ready, and slowly open your eyes. Continuously noticing sensation, the feeling of yourself. Love to hear from you, Todd, how you're feeling, how you're experiencing.
It was awesome. I felt the energy enter my body is because I do a lot of meditation. So I felt like how I always feel like when I get into the meditative state, but this time it was way quicker because I have like a bit of a protocol where I would like drop my breathing and drop my consciousness down to a level to just allow. But with you, it was like just those three sort of like affirmations and boom, it was there. So that's fire. That's fire.
Beautiful.
Wow. Guys, you're going to have to rewind that and listen to that again, clip it, send it to your mates. And yeah, because it was powerful. So your teacher, Grandmaster Dr. Ming, created something the world has never fully reckoned with. What was his fundamental understanding of the human body, the thing that made that hospital possible?
Come back to energy. That is the uniqueness of Qigong. Yeah, it's really this from his own discovery as well, receiving the teaching from so many incredible teachers. And also he went to the ancient script, both, Taoist, Buddhist, Confucianist script, and many of them do many, many thousand years, histories, and discover really the most powerful truth is the existence of energy, even the energy as a source of creation, source of life. So from that, discovery, he dedicated to creating the Medicine Qigong Hospital and helped, over about 2 decades of time, more than 200,000 people went through the Medicine Qigong Hospital. And in the beginning, mostly for healing, then quickly, people more interested in the spiritual dimension, spiritual evolution, spiritual awakening process. So towards the end of the 2 decades, he started to teach more of the spiritual dimension of this practice. And then unfortunately, the center was closed down for the same critical reason. When you saw, these people was arrested by practicing one form of Qigong at a time. That is Falun Gong. And that is different from our system. And that system, the Falun Gong is complicated. So on one hand, it's starting as a Qigong group, but then become religious, but also become politically confrontational with the Chinese government. And the Chinese government doesn't like that. So start to arresting these people, but also, shut down all the big Qigong center, basically, including the medicine Qigong hospital. And actually, my teacher was put into house arrest for last 25 years now.
Still, he's under house arrest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now it's more, let's say, he has more freedom, but still cannot openly come to the public to teach. And his activity is limited. His interaction with outside of the world is very limited. So it's still approved supervision by the Chinese government.
That is levels. Like, guys, you are hearing firsthand, direct from the horse's mouth, that the stuff that you're being given today, was being shared with you, is quotation marks forbidden. Yeah. Which makes it even more the reason why you should pay attention to what Master Mingtong is going to say, because we can get into some deeper stuff now. So let's transition into wisdom healing Qigong and the body's own intelligence. Now, there are hundreds of forms of Qigong. What makes wisdom healing Qigong categorically different?
Everything I've been speaking about so far is unique to wisdom healing Qigong, by the way. I'm not here to compare which is better, compare with others. That's not my position. I don't know other form of Qigong much neither, right? So I can share with you the uniqueness of wisdom healing Qigong. The three new. One is, I have said already, is the cosmology, perceiving everything as Qi, as energy. That is different from pretty much all other Qigong system, even different from even yoga system. So different system perceiving energy differently, even use the same name, Qi, prana, and every system perceive it differently. So really important to recognize that. Yeah. So people may talk about the same concept, same interpreting, whatever way, but its perception is different. So in this perception is everything existing as energy. The physical is made energetic. The visible is made of invisible energy. And the tangible, whatever we experience in this, 3D dimension is made of energy, but also the existence beyond 3D. So when we're perceiving everything as energy, then you're realizing energy has three qualities. One is infinitely present, infinitely available, unlimited. Secondly, all existence connected by same energy. Therefore, we're not separate. The perception of separation is the illusion. So the second aspect is we're interconnected beyond just, I affecting you by doing something to you. No, it's energetically, we're connected already. No matter how many 100 miles, 1,000 miles on another planet Earth, we are in the same energy field. Not only we're breathing in the same air, and we connect with same ecosystem of the planet Earth, but much, much more. Yeah, much, much more. It's like when I do, remote healing, distance healing, it's like the experiencing is just so tangible. Doesn't matter how far we away from each other in physical distance. When I do something, consciously projecting the energy to that person there, that person feel exactly what's happening. I mean, it's like more than just quantum physics. It's reality we're experiencing every day. It's not just theoretical, We don't need more evidence than our direct experience. So that's the second quality of energy. The third is energy is creative, always changing the form, transforming basically from one form to another, from formless to form, from form to formlessness. That's the continued creation of life. Yeah. So when you work with healing, basically it's a form of transformation, from one pattern to another pattern. Yeah. So that is the cosmology. I'm really kind of, outlined, in high level. Then the methodology is basically, as I mentioned, is from the perception of everything is energy, there's only two patterns. When the energy is contracted, then life compromised. The physical condition, emotional experience, the mental capacity, the spiritual connection, it's all compromised. When the same energy, opening, flowing, connecting again, then all the function come back. Returning to normal. Moving towards optimum. So by using this methodology, then everything has become so simple. So it's not based on diagnosis of the complexity, what is your history, what is your diagnosis, what do you eat or not, like this moment where you feeling the contraction in the body, then you do the practice, the opening from contraction to movement to connection again. So everything we do, movement practice, sound healing practice, meditation practice, is about, first of all, connecting what is true inside of you. You're the only one can connect what's inside of you. More you're able to connect, the more you're able to change it, by doing this practice. So you're shifting from contraction to openness, from disconnection to connectiveness, from stagnation to flow. So that's the methodology. And that is different from balance. Different from yin and yang, different from 5 elements trying to creating a balance. That is completely different from the diagnosis approaches. Even a lot of medical Qigong focus on diagnosis. What is your diagnosis? Then you do certain thing as antidote to address that particular problem. And here is very different. You do all the practice to awakening the energy, opening the energy to wholeness, to oneness, to flow, mentally, physically, emotionally. Then you continuously improving yourself, moving towards greater capacity, not just healthier. So that is the methodology. That's very different from most of Qigong approach.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now I want to talk to you about something that might feel like a gear change. Stay with me. You know what genuinely frustrates me? Watching men who are spiritually switched on, doing the inner work, evolving their consciousness, reading the books, listening to the podcasts, but still completely lost when it comes to what they're putting into their body every single day. Still carrying weight they do not want, still operating below their potential, still letting food control them instead of the other way around. And here is the truth nobody wants to say out loud. An awakened mind living in an undisciplined body is still a divided man. I've seen it too many times, and it bothers me enough to build something about it. So I created the Compound Body Training Custom Meal Plan, a done-for-you 4-week nutrition system built specifically around your body, your biology, your goals, and yes, your favorite foods. This is not a template. This is not a generic diet sheet somebody copy-pasted from the internet. This is your personal nutritional blueprint, designed around you, delivered to you, ready to follow from day one. Because if you want to take a do-it-yourself approach to your health and your sovereignty, this is the most powerful tool you can start with. Just go to compoundbodytraining.com/meal plan. The link is in the description below. Your body should reflect the standard you actually live by. So let's piggyback on that. Now, you teach that the body is its own pharmacy, that it can produce everything it needs to heal, regulate, and restore itself. If this is true, what has the pharmaceutical industry actually been selling us?
I'm not saying what the pharmaceutical industry is saying to us. We don't know what we don't know. On one hand, the pharmaceutical industry, of course, money involved, control involved, everything else is involved. But the truth is they don't know what they don't know. So you cannot blame someone who has ignorance. And based on this ignorance, they're also using fear, control other people, of course. Yeah. So, for example, if the top person, top power in pharmaceutical, able to experience in Qigong, discover the deep healing come from within, probably that person will give up the business of pharmaceutical company. But on the other hand, it's like, the story of my teacher being house arrested in China is kind of scary. You're thinking that is only uniquely Chinese, but it's not true. Because imagine if I open a medicine and Qigong hospital in the US, with 5,000 people attending, the government will come to me, the US government.
True.
The company will come to me, no question about it. So on one hand, I'm fortunate. I can enjoy more freedom doing what I'm doing, helping so many people. On the other hand, there's still a lot of limitation in any political system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you healed yourself from decades of chronic asthma and scoliosis through this practice. Then at age 60, you had a dramatic fall that should have been catastrophic, and it was not. What happened in your body in that moment, and what did it confirm for you about everything you've been teaching?
Yeah. That was a powerful accident. Obviously, in the whole universe, there's no such thing as accident. Something happened in my life, not many years ago during the pandemic. I was walking, landscaping, driving a bobcat, and moving dirt from one place to another place, and dropping next to a cliff. And then suddenly realizing I drove too far, and then bobcat fell down. To make the moment, I realizing I'm the bottom of 50 feet kind of cliff. Boom, landed there. So my thoughts was two simple thoughts. Happened so fast. One is like, oh, I'm falling. Then the second thought is like, boom, I'm on the ground. I'm okay. Thoughts came to me. I'm okay. And just not something, I can choose, just came to me. Then I start to kind of move my body, stretching my body. Feel a little bit tenderness in different places. Then no hurts, no injury, no problem at all. So then I just continue my project, working in the landscape and so on. And actually, I purposely didn't tell my wife, didn't tell my family what happened. And they saw the picture. They were like shocked 2 days later. And then I told them what happened. And was truly, in one sense, it's kind of miracle. It's kind of could be life and death. At least I would be easily injured, but no injury at all. And so my wife asking me, do you think this angel, the Bodhisattva, spirit protecting you? I thought about it. I say, maybe, possible. I'm an open mind guy, everything is possible. But then second thoughts came to me. Suddenly I realized, my 30-some years of practicing lead to that moment. In that incident, my mind, body is so connected. That means my mind does not disassociate from my body, leave. So this connection remained as instinct that prevented me from the injury of this accident.
Yeah, because that's kind of high. That's about 17 meters, 18 meters.
Yeah. And plus, it's like I didn't have the right
gear.
The gear.
Yeah.
Was like, boom, landed, like a pop. Shocking, the whole thing. But in any case, and that was profound realization. My practice of 30-some years led to this moment of body-mind connection happened so naturally without being traumatized, without disassociation. So many people have, near-death experience, for example. In these cases, it's like the body, the mind, or spirit disassociating from the body. Then the energy disassociate. This wholeness is compromised. Then, boom, accidents can injure the body.
Definitely, definitely. So men have been conditioned to treat the body as a machine, something to fuel, override, and push through when it signals distress. What is that relationship actually doing to a man's energy at a level he cannot yet see or measure?
Simply more contraction, more stress, more tension we're holding in the body, not only affecting our everyday, function, but also we responding life from that contraction. So often experienced as reaction. Like simple thing can push your button. You're reacting more than, should. Small thing, you can like acting out, super angry, super fearful, or super, judgmental, super whatever way. So it's like the suppressed energy now suddenly exploded. Yeah. And including, physical problems come, as I mentioned, this stress carry the body. If you're not aware, if you're not taking care of every day with the mind-body connection, because if not connected, you're not aware of it, then you cannot really truly taking care of the stress every day. You're trying to control it. You're trying to suppress it. You're trying to override it. You're trying to even analyzing it. That doesn't really solve the problem. So eventually the body saying no more. Yeah. Whatever diagnosis might be. Yeah. Problem might be. So in general speaking, this is affecting every aspect of life and health, quality of life, relationship, our creativity, or fulfillment in our life in general.
Okay. Now, you teach that trauma is stored in the body as blocked or stagnant energy. What does that mean for the man who has never once called himself traumatized, but feels permanently flat, numb, or switched off?
Yeah, these are common cases. Yeah, common cases. It's like this. On one hand, all of us have trauma. Doesn't matter what kind of trauma. Doesn't matter what degree of trauma. So what is energetically trauma means is like something happening in our life, our energy system doesn't know how to respond to it effectively, incorporate and deal with it effectively. So what happened is our energy body contract, part of us contract. Could it be contracting to the heart? Could it be contracting to the nervous system, in the muscle? Could it be contracting in the kidney? But often, if we're resilient enough, then that contraction bouncing back, open up again, then we're fine. But often, trauma is so intense, especially at the time we feel vulnerable. We don't know how to bounce back. That means become contracted pattern in the body. But energy is part of you. That means part of you is contracted. Part of you is buried. The part of you, in a sense, lost. Yeah. It's like buried in the basement. Yeah. Sometimes we think of, for example, inner child of ourselves is buried, suppressed. Yeah. Not able to feel love, or receive or give. Yeah. Not able to feel the connection. So these are common experiences from trauma. So the same process we're engaging here, once we understand, okay, it's part of me contracted, but still inside of me. And again, all the teaching, all the practice is help us to coming back to this body and discover what's inside of you, including the contracted part of us. And through the movement, sound, meditation, you're awakening the energy, you're opening the energy, you're reconnecting with the energy. And when you're repeating this again, then this part of you come back to you, basically.
Okay, so let's transition to burnout, survival mode, and the male wound. Burnout has become so normalized, it is almost a badge of honor. Men wearing their exhaustion as proof they are serious. What is actually happening inside a man's body and energy field when he operates that way for years?
The short answer is same. Same as trauma, same as everyday stress, same as, this total disconnection of mind body, ignoring the real truth, real problem. And when you push slow that, eventually not only burnout, exhausted, energetic fatigue, but can be serious illness. Could it be, heart attack, stroke, and everything can happen. And especially one of the condition is like, I'm just using this as a cases, like Parkinson condition. Yeah, it's like most cases, people in their whole life experiencing this controlling, trying to control everything, in their life, professionally, relationship, money, circumstances. And when you're controlling not only like the body, building the tension, building the stress, building this, tightness in the body, and the Parkinson condition is saying this, I cannot control this anymore. Then suddenly you feel shaking. Body letting go of the control, just couldn't do this anymore. You start shaking, feel sense of, cannot control anymore. And so to work with that is really opposite. It's like paradox. You learn to consciously letting go of the control, allow the shaking, allow the body to move in spite of shaking. And you're connecting the energy in a very different way, not in a controlling way, not in like problem-solving way. You start to experience your body, its own aliveness, its own gentleness, its own connection. Everything is okay more than the mind think. So that is kind of the process. I'm using this example. The same way in life, but now it's coming from controlling. We're trying to control everything. That approach is going to lead out to, burnout. Totally.
Okay. Now, you speak about the nervous system being blocked in survival mode as the root of most modern suffering. What happens to a man spiritually when he lives in that state for years without ever being told what is happening to him?
We're living in our habit, in our pattern. We are so blind spotted, especially if we're not connecting with our own body. No matter how much other people, tell us, even diagnose us. Not much change can happen. So it's like when you speak of the nervous system, carry all this tension, overloaded tension in the body. And even, when we mentally overloaded and eventually become physicalized in the whole body. And from there, one of the response is fight, flight, basically. Fight, flight. Freeze and fight, flight. And also feel numbness. You're numb because it's too much. You don't know how to handle, how to feel, how to experience life anymore. So it's like you turn out everything. You numb yourself from life. These are, common outcome, implication of that.
Okay. Now, the self-help industry has made billions telling burnt-out men to meditate more, journal more, do breath work, take cold showers. And the epidemic is getting worse, not better. What is the entire industry getting fundamentally wrong?
It's still like problem solving. When it's problem solving, it's like you're doing something with the meditation or breath work, whatever, trying to solve one problem. That is causing more problems. And secondly, you like approaching the body still as kind of vehicle, a tool to realizing another goal. We feel high, feel temporarily, comfortable, feel, high performance, whatever. It's like you're using a body as a tool. That's called misuse. Yeah, misuse. That's called unhealthy relationship with your own body. Even you think you're doing something right, according to different traditions, spiritual tradition, these are all beneficial. Calm your mind, enhance your body, so on. But the way you're approaching it, it's not about, it's like the practice is wrong. It's the way you're approaching the practice based on problem solving, based on approaching this body as an object, as a vehicle, as a problem to solve. That's where causing more problems. Yeah. And another issue, is like this common bypass of the discomfort of the body, the choose of the body, the pain in the body. We're thinking, oh, I'm doing meditation to get rid of the pain. It's a different process here. I'm doing this meditation to connect with my body, to feel the truth of my body, to learn how to be peace with the pain. Now, there's something not everybody like that. Okay. Everybody say, no, I'm out of here.
Facts. That's a fact.
Exactly. But that's the real problem I want to mention. That's how everybody's seeking for temporary release of pain in life. We're doing everything possible, including meditation, including breath work, including plant medicine, including whatever drug for temporary release. That's the big problem. So my invitation is to embracing your body, feel the discomfort, embracing the pain as part of life. By doing that, you're going to discover greater capacity for vitality, for healing, for love, for joy, for accomplishment. Yeah, true fulfillment of your life. That's very different.
Extremely different approach. It is a paradigm shift, I would say, because it's almost like you have to wipe your mind of everything you think you've known before and install new information, which is akin to when Yeshua said that you need to empty the wine skin of the wine that you have in it in order to receive new wine, right? Because you can't mix the old wine with the new wine, right? So that's a very powerful distinction you made there.
Yeah, that's, Todd, that's what this book is about. We touch on so many themes today, but the book is taking us the deep part, like what is the main problem we're facing as human beings, without any exception. Doesn't matter whether we're diagnosed with a disease or not. Doesn't matter what kind of problem we're facing in relationship or job. Doesn't matter what kind of social problem, critical problem we're facing in the world. It's really to deeply understand the cause of all suffering in this world right now is a disconnection of our own mind body. If anything you're doing, trying to bypass the discomfort, bypass the pain, is ultimately causing more problems.
Okay. There are thousands of documented cases of people healing from serious conditions at the Medicineless Hospital, a 95% rate across conditions including cancer and heart disease. Why is that evidence still not enough for the institutions and the media that claim to care about human health?
So, good question. Well, first of all, I want to clarify, I think, the languaging problem here. The 95%, it means 95% of these cases studied with chronic or incurable condition indicated the measurable improvement within 1 month. Okay, it's not total recovery.
Okay.
That'll be over the top. No one can do that, and no one in the planet Earth can do that. Nothing can do. So it's like it's without medication, you do this, you start to see measurable improvement according to the medical science. It's not like wishy kind of feeling better kind of thing. It's using blood test, using CT scan, using all the medical data to see the improvement. Okay, so that's really important. Then the second change is also only applied to certain disease. The statistics, I forgot specific certain disease. The recovery rate is between 20 to 30%. And that is incredible already. We're talking about incurable condition. So I want to clarify that data. So with that, still quite incredible. Most of people thinking, if I don't do anything effective, the chronic condition can only getting worse, not to mention getting better. So that's the norm. So you're reversing that condition. And over the time, you're getting better than best scenario is total recovery from these incurable. So I don't know when, the government or establishment or pharmaceutical condition is willing to embrace this. It's beyond my control. I'm not going to project everything, Obviously, I think the main thing is to do with the collective consciousness evolution. We don't know what we don't know. And also another reason is I need to be really truthful, transparent. This is about self-healing. It's not anyone doing the work for you. That means you're the one doing the work. And it's not easy to reverse a chronic condition of 30 years. It's not easy to do. Okay. It's not like a magic pill you take in, then overnight you recover from this. That means, people been practicing hours, days, months, years to make this possible. So I want to make it really clear. It's not a magical pill. So that's also indicating the truth. Not many of us are ready for this level of responsibility.
Basically, what you're talking about is a lifestyle change. And it is very much akin to what I tell to people because I'm an online fitness coach. And I tell people that if it took you 20 years to get out of shape and be very, very overweight, you can't expect that in 2 months, you're going to get as fit as me or as fit as some of my other clients, right? It takes several months, sometimes even years to drop 150 kilos, and that kind of weight, right? So I think that's pretty good, but it still makes sense because it is almost like if you've been self-sabotaging for 30 years, because you get a coach that teaches you not to self-sabotage, people have to be realistic where they're not going to learn everything in one day or a week or 1 month. It's going to take time. Like I interviewed a guy called Jason Christoph, and he said that he had a client that used to drink 3 pots of coffee a day. Right? Pots. Right. So each pot probably has in about 5 glasses. So it took 2 years to get from 3 pots a day down to 3 cups a day. Right?
That's incredible already. Incredible change already. Totally.
Yeah. So, I don't think that there's anything wrong with people understanding that it's a lifestyle change and it takes time. But I think the problem we have in our society, and my mentor calls it the Burger King generation, you put the food in the microwave, 5 minutes later, you take it out, it's done. And we have this mindset that because you discover a modality of healing that, boom, tomorrow it's done. And no, it takes time because it took you however old you are, 30, 40, 50, 60. All of that's the 30, 40, 50, 60 years of programming, right? So you need to deprogram yourself, which may take another 30, 40, 50, 60 years, right? But you need to start the process. And I think most people get stuck because the start is hard because they see it's a long journey ahead and they want it now. And
immediate result, quick fix, shortcut. That mindset is causing most of the problem, truly. Until we change that, nothing else can change. unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. So we're going to take a very short break here to say if something in this conversation is moving in you right now, that is not a coincidence. That is the inner work beginning. Hit the like button, drop a comment below with the one thing that has landed hardest for you so far. And if you know a man who needs to hear this, send it to him right now. If you want to support the show, get an ad-free experience, and go deeper with this community, join us on Patreon or Locals. All the links are in the description below. Follow us on Instagram at Adriano_246 and at the Conscious Man 7 podcast, or Todd Cave on Facebook to see what I get up to during the week and see how I merge fitness, consciousness, and spirituality to help people not only get into the best shape of their lives, but also to level up in other areas of their life. Don't forget to check out the sponsor of our show, The Kembo, at thekembo.com to get yourself some cool orgonite pyramids, tower busters, and jewelry which create orgone energy, which is the life source energy and neutralizes the nasty EMF waves that we are constantly bombarded with. Use coupon code CM7 to get 10% off your order. Now let's go even deeper with Master Mingtong Gu. Now we can transition to AI, technology, and the crisis of embodiment. Artificial intelligence is being positioned as the next stage of human evolution. But your entire life's work makes the case that we are already abandoning the most sophisticated intelligence on Earth, the body itself. Are we accelerating toward a future we are not going to survive?
Yeah, that's one of the most powerful questions we're facing right now. On one hand, AI is super capable in terms of mental process, information process, technology. We human discovered the AI technology. That is the first time in the entire human history. It's like almost like mapping how the human mind works, but in this case, is beyond the individual and the collective, and slow, logic, slow pattern recognition, slow data processing, and become so capable nowadays. It's amazing. So there's a lot of benefit, a lot of side effects, there's a lot of danger. And the deeper question I've been asking, by the way, I use AI a lot for my work and also for, writing the book, and also really for reflective process too. And but the deepest question asked started last year is, what's the worst outcome of AI? And the answer was so simple, so profound, so painful. It's total loss of humanity, distinguished of humanity. And why I come to this conclusion? Simply, is I realize the main difference between me and the AI is not so much of who is mentally more capable, but it's like I have this human body which is capable of experiencing life, feeling life, the pain, the joy, love, the hate, the connection, the disconnection, the limitation, the infinite possibility. That's what to make it possible, made it possible by this body. That's differentiate me as human being, uniquely different from AI. So, but what is AI is doing now? Not because of AI, but the human, without knowing, we've been living above the head. Above the shoulder. So we're living in the mental world, then using this mental world, creating the AI world, become a digital world, become a simulated virtual world, so to speak. No matter how powerful it is, that is still simulated world, digital. Is different from the real world we existing, which is only possible to be experienced with this body. So what that means, if we're not careful about, if continue living in the mental world, then the mental world will be hijacked by the digital world. Then more disconnection from this physical body, from this physical world, what happened? Eventually, we become a robot. It's like talking ghost, walking ghost. And it's happening now. It's happening now. Even the technology in some ways capable of for you to imprinting all your memories or in some level of consciousness into the machine. So you don't have to feel your body anymore, experience your own body. You become a simulated AI version of you living as immortal. That's unfortunately a lot of people envisioning such future and making it happen. That's the worst scenario for me. And I choose not to go there. That's why the reason I'm doing everything possible for myself, for everyone else, making this new choice of coming back to this body, reconnecting this body. And also the AI help us to mill us to see how far we're being disconnected from this body. So that's also the best outcome can happen. Yeah. If we're using the technology consciously and also realizing the unique difference between the AI, me as human being. So I can come into this body as home, can use this ancient wisdom to experience who am I, and same time using new technology to expand my own capacity. So that could be the best scenario. It has to come from really conscious use of AI, claiming yourself as human, uniquely human, because this human body.
You know, right? What you're saying is actually more true than people actually realize, because the Pentagon has actually run a couple of different Project Avatar initiatives. And the most famous one was in 2012, where DARPA created a program to create robot surrogates that soldiers could actually control a robot with their consciousness alone. So they've already proved that they can transfer consciousness from a human being into an avatar body, which is why I say all the time on my podcast that these sci-fi movies are documentaries and not sci-fi. So Project Avatar, and we had an Avatar movie, and that is exactly what happened, where the guy in the wheelchair transferred his consciousness to the avatar body and he left his body behind. So we're playing with technology and sort of like the human consciousness in ways that we have to be careful with, because when you go and put your consciousness into these data centers, into these robots, your consciousness is trapped. You know, you're not going to be able to get it back into your body. At least when the body expires, you reincarnate again. You know, you come back into another body, because the consciousness doesn't die. But when you go and put it into the silicon, it means then that the silicon holds it and there's no way to get it out of the silicon. So you're trapped forever, right? Yeah. So, you know, truth is stranger than fiction. And, you know, I think that I think people need to realize, like, I agree with you. I think AI is great. I think you can do a lot of heavy lifting with AI, you know, and the more you play with it, the more you realize how much more methodical you have to be in the prompts. So you actually have to look at it as you're the architect in the matrix, where you're being so specific that you're looking at the minutia to create the outcome that you want. So It's not just a matter of just inputting any information. Right. You actually have to sit down, because you actually can spend up to an hour writing a particular prompt to get the result you want. So what it can do is that you have to elevate to higher mind to be able to get the minutia correct. And then the AI can do all the heavy lifting for you and collate the data for you. So I do think that both humans and AI can have a very good, honest relationship. But I think the problem is that people would need to really focus on their level of consciousness, their mindset, and all the things that you've spoken about today. They would need to do that work so that it becomes something that doesn't enslave us. Because, the more digitally connected we become, the more disconnected people feeling inside of themselves. Now, is that a design flaw in the technology, or is it working exactly as intended?
It's a good question. I think it's all kind of happening as a collective behavior. Collective behavior. I don't think any few single individual orchestrating the whole humanity history, evolution. Maybe there are people trying to do that, but I think in the bigger way is, we all living in this interconnected process is happening. So every choice we're making, we're affecting each other. Every, experience we're having is affecting. So more we can honor our own choice, deep choice, the more we can, moving the civilization of humanity into right directions, more fulfilling direction. So right now, all of us is facing all these choices, but most important choice we're facing. Do you want to connect with your body? Do you want to turn into your body? Do you want to experience your body in a new way? Do you want to fulfill life with a deep connection with your own body? That is the number one choice we're facing. So I'm hoping we can all wake up earlier than all the crisis to the point of no return, or to the point of almost extinction. Then often humanity waking up. I don't want to lose myself, so to speak. Hopefully, we can wake up earlier than that. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I'm dedicating to.
I think part of the problem is that as a collective, we fear death. And I think that we need to change our perspective on death, because death is just part of the process. And the truth is that more than half of the world's people on earth believe in reincarnation. More than half, in some form or fashion, which tells me that it is most likely true. Now, I have interviewed past life regression practitioners. I have interviewed near-death experience. People have collated information on near-death experiences. And when you put the two sets of information together, they very much line up that it seems, while we don't have a physical tablet or physical book or a tablet to take to confirm it, with all of these stories, I am very likely to say that this is most likely what it is, where the body expires, you reincarnate again, the body expires, you reincarnate. And so many traditions confirm that. And I think that is one of the reasons why we are having this thirst for AI, because it's like we're trying to stop death. So it's almost like we want to merge with the machine so that we can stop the natural process of just expiring and come back in again. So I think that is one of the root causes where we as a collective fear death, instead of being taught, well, there's some traditions like the Native Americans that actually see death as a rite of passage to the next level. So they actually embrace it. But the rest of the population, the vast majority, we're conditioned that it is sad. I mean, obviously you feel sad when your mother, your father go. I would be destroyed when my parents do expire. But, it is one of these things that happen, because I'm going to expire one day and I'm going to come back again sometime, The only thing is that I hope when I come back that I have full memory of this life. So all these skills that I've learned now, and I can do and start a podcast earlier in my journey and help more people.
Well, you started quite early already. I think you did something in the past life. Ready to hear whatever doing, whatever new lesson we're learning. So yeah, on one hand, it's like I think it's this powerful insight. What you share is really powerful insight. Fear of death. Don't know, what we continue or not, next life or not. Then we creating this technology, attempting to replace death, replacing whatever we fear for, and by embracing the truth, embracing the continuation of life. There's on one hand is like evidence, enough evidence to indicate that. But on the other hand, it's also a choice. It's a choice. It's like this, okay? If you choose to, think of life will continue slow in reincarnation, then your approach to life affecting your choice now, affecting your experience now, affecting your emotional response to death right now. But if you choose, say, okay, there's no continuation of life, yeah, then you go to the machine and trying to continue that. Then what is the consequence of that? Yeah. So it's like any choice we're making, there's implication, there's consequence. So when we're aware that we are making choice, we have a choice, we have to bear the consequence of choice. I think then from that place, we can make true wise choice, beneficial choice, fulfilling choice. If some of you thinking, oh, there's no reincarnation, I want the machine to continue my life that way, that's your choice. If you choose that way, that's your choice. That's not my choice. Absolutely not my choice.
Absolutely.
Just
Absolutely.
leave that way. Leave the end of this. It's not about right, wrong, good or bad. I definitely don't want to choose a ghost to be a ghost.
True.
Trapped
True.
in a machine, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your new book is called Coming Home to Embodied Awakening. The word home implies we have been somewhere else for a long time. What is the place most men are actually living from, and what is it costing them?
Yeah, this feeling of homelessness, yeah, doesn't belong anywhere, doesn't, feel peace, doesn't know who we are. Yeah. And so that's kind of common feeling. So in general speaking, it's this caused by disconnection from your own body. If you disconnect from your own home, no matter wherever you go, don't feel settled, doesn't feel home, doesn't feel true sense of peace, true sense of belonging, true sense of completion, wholeness. So that is the meaning, of homeless, shifting from homeless, coming back to home. It's about going internal, from externally dependent, externally lost, externally seeking for everything, approval, whatever, happiness, whatever might be. You discover the home inside of us. Yeah. So it's like realizing we're being exiled from our own body, like living like ghosts, basically. We're already, without the machine, we've been living like ghosts already. So every day, asking, how often do you consciously connect with your body? Do you consciously connecting with your own body? Do you listening to your own body? Do you truly experience your own body? Very little. That's the truth. That's a shocking truth. Yeah. So now, again, we're facing this choice. Do you want to continue disconnect from your body or coming home to this body?
I like this idea of coming home to the body, to be honest. Is a distinction I've never heard before. Yeah, it really resonates with me. Now, a man who is consciously choosing to wake up, already questioning the system, already committed to change to something deeper, what does wisdom healing Qigong offer him that everything else he has tried cannot?
Yeah, same thing. Coming home to the body. No matter how much spiritual work we have done, so much humanity work we have done, 90% of all the work is mental. 90% of this work, unfortunately, is ignoring the body, dismissing the body. Unfortunately, there's so much spiritual bypass, so much political bypass, so much bypass of our own body, our own soul. That is really the frontier of the work. It's also the deepest work requires making another level of commitment. That is embodied awakening. It's not just mental awakening. It's not just spiritual awakening. It's not just political awakening. It's just inhibiting your own body. It is total reincarnation. When you're speaking of believing in reincarnation, when I said it's a choice. But when you reincarnate in this human form, you're still not in the body. You're not fully reincarnated. The journey of life is continue to discover how to reincarnate this body fully, inhibiting this body fully. That's become a spiritual journey. And it's being missing. Continues to be missing, even overlooked. Dismissed.
Well, this is you've raised some really thought-provoking questions and some really thought-provoking declarations and distinctions that I'm sure that people are going to have to rewind this podcast and listen to this a couple of times, because I have delved quite far down the path of all of these topics that we have spoken about today. And this seems to be like one of the missing keys that I think that a lot of spiritual practitioners, a lot of mindfulness people, yogis, etc., seem to be missing, because it fundamentally connects all the elements of yourself together, right? And I think that it is what you call a holistic approach in its entire nature, while most approaches tend to be very singular, and this is encompassing, no? So we can transition to talking about the collective healing, lineage, and the bigger picture. So you have carried a 5,000-year healing lineage across 47 countries. We talked about a 95% documented success rate, which you said comes from the first month of people, which exists from the medicalless hospital, and the mainstream still looks away. Does that make you angry?
Good question. Not so much of angry. It's more like, in general, I made a peace with everything in life. That's one of the implications. When I made a peace with my body, I made a peace with myself, made a peace with life, made a peace with all these conflict, imperfection, complexity. I can come back to simplicity. This moment, I can access my inner peace. But on the other hand, I feel urgent. I feel passionate. I feel so dedicated, devotional to share this message with everyone possible, to wake people up and feel the sense of crisis we're all facing. If we're not careful, we can read into the ultimate worst outcome of humanity. That means distinguished of humanity. That's where I feel the fire come out of me. But at the same time, I'm totally made peace with everything. That's the paradox.
Yeah, it truly is, because, I found that there's one stage of a spiritual journey that you always go through, which is anger, because you wake up to the system, you realize everything is a fraud. Everything is literally trying to kill you, extort you. You know what I mean? It's a parasite, basically, right? It's parasitic in nature. And you got that angry feeling. So it's really powerful and reassuring to hear that, in fact, you've kind of like alchemized it, where, it creates the fire in you to spread more of the information and to embody everything that you are talking about, So You've worked with over 100,000 people across 47 countries, every culture, every background. Beneath all of it, beneath the language, the religion, the politics, the performance, what is the one wound every human being seems to be carrying?
Yeah, the one is the separation, like the original separation. We think it's in spiritually the original separation from the, for where we came from, the universe, the source. Yeah. And then all the separation we carry from parents, from other relations, and separation from the Mother Earth. But ultimately, separation of all mind, body, and that deeper inner separation is the wound, is the pain.
Okay. Now, you teach that individual healing is never truly individual, that when one person heals, the field around them shifts. If that is real, what is the cost of millions of people who are still waiting for permission to begin?
Right. What is a million people, you say?
Right. So if all of that is real, what is the cost of the millions of people who are still waiting for permission to begin the process?
Yeah, I don't think it's waiting for permission. It's just we don't know what we don't know. That's one thing. That's why these educational podcasts, this exploration is so important. We don't know what we don't know. Ignorance, basically. Common, most powerful cause of all suffering is ignorance. And the second is basically we're lazy. We're lazy. It's honestly, I want to be honest, truthful here. It's not like big spiritual thing. It's as human being, we're lazy. We don't want to take responsibility. We seeking for shortcut, quick fix, instantaneous gravitation. It's all come from that place of laziness. We don't want to experience discomfort. So everything I'm sharing here is inviting you to embracing discomfort. Hopefully, you're still here with me. Most of you probably run away already. That's not what I want to hear. I'm seeking for the magical pill. When I say, medicineless Qigong hospital, it means deep work, taking responsibility. Yeah, self-awareness, self-care, self-healing, self-empowerment, ultimately leading to self-realization, self-fulfillment as human beings.
You said something just now that triggered a memory that I have of a book that I read. It's a book that very, very few people have ever heard about or read. It's called The Life and Teaching of the Masters of the Far East. And this book is like that thick long. It's almost like same thickness of The Art of War, right?
Yeah.
And in long story short, in this book, there were about 30 or 50 Western scientists that went to the Far East in the Himalayas, China, Tibet, India, and stuff. And as they were interviewing the masters and recording what they were seeing, they said that there are about 400 elevated masters on the planet right now. And they purposely hide themselves from humanity. And they said the reason is just what you said. Humans are lazy. He said that what happens is that when a master would make himself visible, humans want the masters to do all the work for them.
Exactly.
Heal me, do
me.
this for me,
Right.
Correct, save me, fix me.
Right, prove to me. Even the worst is to prove to me something would work for me.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
what you said just now, it made me think of that book. And I was like, you're literally seeing what they're seeing. And it's probably why, I don't know if this is in our programming, if this is something learned in childhood. That part I don't know. But there seems to be an inherent thing inside of us where human beings are lazy and we like to take the path of least resistance. So if someone can give us a pill to take to heal us, that's it.
Right.
If I can listen to you and in 5 minutes I can understand what to do, that's it. If I can just get you to do the work for me,
Even better.
even better, right? And I wonder why it is that most people are like that. It's only a few people on earth that actually would know that this is their predisposition, but ignore it to do the work to fix themselves, heal themselves, improve themselves, and level up. While the vast majority stay in that paradigm of laziness where it is just for comfort. And I interviewed someone on my show that's going to come up soon, Jahan Sator, and he said that the human brain is not programmed for happiness, it's programmed for comfort. And he says that what that means is that you meaning the subconscious mind, will always look to make itself comfortable.
Right.
And if that means take this pill, listen for 5 minutes, I have the answer, and better yet, do the work for me, that is the solution that most human beings will take. So it's quite of a paradigm shift, I think, that we need to go through to get to the next level, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So, we cannot change anyone else. Yeah. We cannot save anyone else. We cannot expecting anyone else, to do the meaningful work. We can only hear what is possible and, really be truthful. What is the responsibility? What is the choice? What the work takes to make that happen. So often people are suffered enough in life. Yeah. They're lazy enough, but suffered enough to the point like I cannot continue that way of suffering anymore. So we have to do something, in spite of the natural laziness, the willing to be disciplined, do more, to discover more, taking risk, taking adventure to explore, so on. That's this one scenario. Yeah. And some people, it's like grown up with more sense of responsibility, sense of the adventure, sense of, empowerment. Then these people willing to do more work together. But collectively, we're affecting each other. Like the energy frequency of humanity, is on one hand affected by every individual, but also affected more so who is doing the work. So hopefully, that collective consciousness rising beyond this individual, tendency of laziness, then affecting each other in that sense.
Yeah, and it's like after everything you've witnessed, the hospital, the 45 countries, the 100,000 lives, most people are still not doing this work, and I'm wondering if the real reason is laziness. So I'll ask you, what do you think then is the real reason? Is it laziness, programming? Is it that we just don't know that we don't know? Or is it something more than all of those?
So everything is true. They're all related. There's no single path to it. There's no such thing in the whole universe. Everything is interconnected. Chicken, the egg, chicken, the egg, chicken, the egg, chicken, the egg. One thing leads to another. Then we're lost in the Buddhist tradition called karma, the karma wheel, the karma of suffering. One thing to lead another, one to another. There's no origin of that. But if you really want finding a very origin of that, you have to go beyond this wheel of karma to another layer of perception. So that's only become possible is letting go of all perception. That means ignorance. Yeah. So ultimately, ignorance is the cause of all suffering.
Wow, interesting, because Krishna says that the cause of all human suffering is attachment. And I guess
also caused by ignorance.
I was just going to say that when you break down the attachment to another level, you could infer it be ignorance because you don't know that you actually have an attachment. Yeah.
So, for example, one of the ignorance we have is we think life should not be uncomfortable. That's ignorance. Simple. See?
Very true.
And when we opening a perception of life, oh, life including discomfort, oh, life including pain, then suddenly, yeah, you perceiving life differently, make choice differently. But this choice is happening 24/7. So when you based on your assumption, life should not including discomfort, life should not including death, life should not including imperfection, then you continuously fight, resist, judge, and whatever problem solving, then you continuously struggle in the suffering basically. Then I can embracing discomfort as part of life. I can embracing this body experience as part of human experience. I can discover the peace in spite of imperfection. And suddenly, it's different experience.
Yeah, I say something very similar to people in my personal life and to my clients and I always premise to say that Lao Tzu said, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. And I break that down another level and I say, look, what I've realized is that pain, like Lao Tzu said, is inevitable. So it means that in order for you to grow, you have to have pain. Now, you can actually have pain on the other side, but that leads to self-sabotage, perpetual cycles, and patterns of just doing the exact same thing. Both are pain. So you need to choose which pain you prefer to have in your life. Pain with growth or pain of suffering. And then I break that down to another level with my female clients, and all of them have children. I says, in order for your child to be born, what did you have to go through? They say a lot of pain. I say, good. So in order for you to bring a life into this world, you had to go through pain. So you have a beautiful life that you just created, and you went through pain to create it. So it means that if you want to create your new life, you're going to have to go through pain. The pain of discomfort to do your meal plan. Follow your meal plan and cook your food. Go to do exercise. The body hurts when you do exercise. Breaking certain habits is painful because you feel mentally, I can't do it. But that's still a form of pain as well, to do it regardless of how you feel, to not go to the pub, on the weekend and go and get pissed. That is also a form of pain because you've been doing it all your life. And to break that habit is going to be painful. So I say to all my clients, choose which pain you want. And I have come to that realization when I realized that all the level ups I had in my life have came through pain.
Yeah.
All the biggest changes I've made in my life have come through pain.
Yeah.
And then I started to realize, hold on a minute, well, Lao Tzu's correct. But I understood it, but it didn't become real to me until I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. So all the pain that I was going through, I said, all right, go to the unknown is painful. I have a better chance in going to the unknown than to staying where I know is 100% failure rate. And that's how you need to look at it,
Love that, Tom. Love it. That's so wise. That's so beautiful. Yeah, that's so beautiful. That's it. I think I really enjoy our conversation. I know we went so deep, far, far beyond our schedule. And thank you for everything. I do need to complete our conversation here.
Two more questions. Can you stay for two more questions?
Sure.
Okay. So you've built a 150-acre sanctuary in New Mexico without outside investment, without asking permission from any institution. What were you trying to create, and what happens to this lineage when you are gone?
Yeah. You ask really good question. First of all, obviously I want to original intention commitment, still same commitment is creating a version of Medicine and Qigong Hospital here. Obviously, I cannot call it as Medicine and Qigong Hospital, but that's will be the deep work, same work, happen in China. And that is the reason, that's the commitment. on the other hand, I'm realizing, it's like very difficult to do in this country. New culture, not because, I'm Chinese, but this culture is very individualized, very mental, and very transactional, based on money, 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 money. Yeah. And that make it very difficult to make this to scale, to large scale. Yeah. So I'm realizing that challenge in the process. But my commitment is still there, whatever skill might be. For example, next I want to, instead of doing 30 days of retreat, do more of 5 days retreat. So hopefully more people can, experience even second best has to happen in the big hotels, for example, very different from a retreat center. But I have to do these things like making a bridge for people, in this culture, make it possible. And the question of what's going to happen to the lineage when I die, I don't know, obviously. But I'm not worried about that because everything I told is available now virtually in the whole internet. So that's another, benefit of the technology. I'm not interested. I can put my consciousness into a machine to live that way. But the teaching now, all the teaching, all the guided practice, everything I have done, continue doing until my last breath will be available virtually speaking. So that will be one way of contributing to humanity, become the legacy continuing naturally.
Okay, so let's get you on this one. There's a man listening to this right now. He's exhausted. He's performing his life rather than living it. He has been waiting his whole life for someone to tell him there is another way. What do you say to him right now in this moment?
Wake up, slow down, and feel your body. You can discover the truth inside of you already. Power you're looking for is inside of you already. The joy, the love you're looking for is already inside of you. The wisdom you're looking for is already inside of you, waiting for you to discover. In your body energy system. Stop seeking, stop striving, stop fighting, stop trying to understand everything. Feel it, experience it.
Okay. Master Mingtong Gu, you have blessed the Conscious Mind 7 community with a lot of ancient wisdom today. Please tell the lovely folks where they can find you, the name of your book, where they can find it, any retreats, projects, seminars, anything that you have coming your way. Let us know where we can find it, and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, congratulate any of you if you listen to this to the end. You're the very dedicated one, not in the lazy category. So congratulate you. So probably I will recommend most important thing in this book. So the place you can order this book is go to the website mingtonggu.com/book. It's in the description. You click the link in the description. When you go there, not only you can purchase the book, but more importantly, there's also video resources, free bonus available for you to go deeper into the practice. So also want to say is when you buy the book, make sure you read chapter 7 first. If you don't read the whole book, that's fine. Even just reading the chapter 7, you're going to get so much out of it. So much of it. Many people reported life-changing already, changed their life, changed their relationship with their own body, with themselves, with life in general. That is one step you can take. And if you're ready, whenever, I'm here to support you. If you want to attending a retreat, go to the same website. If you want to attending online program, you can start in today. Yeah, you can go to the same website.
Okay, and all things Master Mingtong Gu will be in the description of this podcast. And guys, Master Mingtong said today that you need to come back into your body, but you need to get your body in shape first. So if you would like to start your fitness journey, you would like to start to level up in all areas of your life, and you want to get some direction and know how to put it all together, I help spiritually inclined people burn fat and build muscle. So hit me up on my Instagram at Adriano_246 or Todd Cave on Facebook. Send me a message. Let's have a chat and let's see if you're a good fit for the Compound Body Training Army. And if you're on a spiritual journey or you would like to start a spiritual journey and you would like some help removing some fears and traumas, I can help you to get some magic mushrooms. So again, hit me up on my socials at Adriano_246 or my name Todd Cave. Send me a message and let's see if I can help you. Magic mushrooms also help with PTSD and CPTSD. So if you're suffering with those, don't hesitate to give me a shout. If you would like to support this podcast, you can do that by visiting our merch store. We have some cool tank tops, hoodies, shirts, and sweats. Link to the Amazon store, Todd and me, will be in the description of this podcast. And today we have on the Conscious Man 7 shirt. So if you would like to join the Conscious Man 7 community, represent that you're a proud supporter of the show, visit the Amazon store, Todd and me, and get yourself some cool gear. And if you do get some of the gear, send me a photo on my Instagram or Facebook or email it to me and I'll show you on one of the podcasts that we do, or I'll show you on my stories on social media. If you would like to support this podcast, but you are listening to this on one of the podcast platforms and you simply don't like ads, you can consider becoming a member of our locals or our Patreon community. You'll get ad-free experiences. You'll get early releases of all our podcasts. You'll get direct access to me and some cool other exclusive content that's on there. So link to our Patreon on Locals Community will be in the description of this podcast. And for a few bucks a month, you'll help us out, help the platform to grow, help us to spend some time to do some awesome research and get some more cool and awesome teachers like Master Mingtong Gu on our show. Links will be in the description of this podcast. And don't forget to support our sponsor of the show, the Kembo, at thekembo.com to get yourself some cool organic pyramids, tower busters, and jewelry. Use coupon code CM7 and get 10% off your order. Master Mingtong, thank you for everything you've shared today, everything you've brought to this conversation and to this world. To every man listening, if something shifted in you today, do not let it pass. Share this episode with one person right now. Not later, now. This is the man in your life who's been running on empty, who is performing, not living. Send it to him now. Thanks a lot for being a guest on the Conscious Man 7, Master Mingtong Gu.
Thank you so much for the wonderful work, for this opportunity. Thank you everyone for joining us today.
Yes, and guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are not already with us, and leave a comment below telling me the single moment in this conversation that stopped you in your tracks. Master Mingtong Gu's website and his book, Coming Home to Embodied Awakening, are linked in the description below. Go and get the book today. To all the Conscious Man 7 family around the world, thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for supporting this mission. And thank you for choosing to look inside of you to heal as it creates a ripple effect in the world. This was another episode of the Conscious Man 7 podcast, the place where we go beyond the veil in search of the truths they hide from you to help you reclaim your power, to help you heal your body and mind in order to step into the truest version of yourself. You are the help that you've been looking for. So remember, folks, keep smiling, keep shining, and keep being the change you want to see. Speak to you soon. Cheers and namaste.